Good evening. Welcome to Barett 3 News Report. My name is Tom Miller, and now on to our first report concerning the controversy at the X Factor. Our correspondent James Church at ITV wrote this report. James?
Our paper, Northern National News, is talking about, in this issue, about how Simon Cowell voted for John Edward in the X Factor, even though he's been criticising them throughout the series. Because of this, Lucy Jones has been sent home. We have interviewed the general public and we had their opinions. Read the paper for more.
Thank you, James. And now on to fairies. Our correspondent Andy Wilson will tell us more.
Today's story comes from Norton Matchball School, where what started as a fun idea turned into a fantastic fundraising event. As the psychology department was short of funding, the idea came about for a terrific fundraising event where all the students would dress up as fairies and try to gain sponsors to raise funds for the department. Later we will be speaking to a couple of the students who were involved, but now we're going to cross over to Tom, who's with Dr. Myers, the head of psychology. Tom?
Dr. Myers, firstly, why did you do this fairy day?
Well, we needed to buy new textbooks for the sixth form because there's been a change of syllabus. So what happened was last year we built the year 12 ones, and then we needed to buy year 13. Now if you're lower down if you've got students from lower down in the school, you don't have to buy them books. You can use some of the money that's been given to you for them to buy things for sixth form. I don't have any students lower in the school, so we only teach the sixth form. So I didn't have any money. And we thought that we'd been given this extra allocation of money because of that. But what happened was it was withdrawn. So then we didn't have any money to buy the books, but the books had been ordered and we wasn't able to cancel them. So I took the problem to the students and I asked them, well, what can we do? And they came up with an idea.
Okay. What about the students who decided not to take part?
Well, something like that can't possibly be compulsory, can it? So I think that my attitude is to be very, very grateful to and happy with the students who did take part. Some of the students who didn't actually dress up are providing some money to offset the cost of their books.
Okay. And you think it was a success?
I think it was a success. I can tell you now that personally I raised £140 on my own, and that was mostly from staff, so the staff were very supportive, and I think that was very important. I think the students have fun. I think it made people in the school more aware of psychology as a subject, and that psychology people aren't serious and pompous. And yes, I enjoyed the idea of it. I didn't so much enjoy having black feathered wings that moulted all over the school. But yes, I think it was a success.
Good. Thank you for your time. On to Joan Charlie.
Who was one of those taking part in Fairy Dress Up Day. Sam, what was your initial reaction to the idea of dressing up as a fairy to raise money for the psychology department?
Well, at first I was sceptical of the idea, as I felt that no one would really dress up and no one would really raise any money for the books that we needed. But in the end, when it actually came to it, there was a good turnout of fairies in the end, and it was just, you know, we made a lot of money, I think.
How much did you raise?
Myself, I raised £35, not bad.
So, do you think it was a success?
In the end, I think it was, but really, I don't actually know the total amount that we made. So I'd like to know that before deciding on whether it's a success or not.
Now over to Charlie.
Hayley was one of those students who decided not to take part. Hayley, why did you decide not to take part yesterday?
I don't think there was really any point in us doing it when it wasn't really our fault that she didn't get the money right and sorted all the financial issues right. I don't think it was fair on us, as we didn't really get a choice about doing it or not, and we didn't know anything. We didn't really know the true aspects of what it was all about either.
But with all of those people that did take part, do you regret not doing it?
No, not one bit.
Do you think that the people that did take part were successful though?
If they raised enough money, then yes, but I don't think overall we did make enough money, and it's not really our fault if we didn't, because it's not really anything to do with us. We just got dragged into it because we do the subject.
Thank you. Back to the studio, Andy.
Thank you, Andy. So, After thousands of players flocking to game stores at midnight last night to buy Modern Warfare 2, our correspondent Tom Burtonwood will explain why in more detail.
Modern Warfare 2 hit the streets early this morning with huge queues of people waiting hours for the stores to open for a midnight release.
Yes indeed, Charlie. In fact, I've ordered my copy. Ah, here it is now.
Here's some facts about the much anticipated game. The direct sequel to the predecessor Modern Warfare has an upgraded game engine allowing for better graphics and attention to detail.
There have been complaints about a certain scene in the game where you, as the character, have to storm an airport and massacre the people inside. The reason for this has been that it has been linked to the Mumbai massacres that happened a few years ago, an event that left 200 people dead and more people injured.
Our own reporter, Joseph Pate, has been out interviewing the public.
So, what do you think about the content of the new game, Modern Warfare 2?
It's so cute. So, this is a very violent game, and I guess this is not, especially on this day of Creative Day, this is not a game that you should focus on, because creativity is much better. Playing guitar, painting, or whatever is so much better for you. But anyway, this is a very good game, very good graphics, the game engine is good, the AI of the characters is good, you have plenty of new ideas compared to the old version, and the online play will be awesome. But also there are some ideas in the game, like the Mumbai massacre, which could create a shock and awe, mainly like what they said about the war, the Iraq War, and that's what the game creators said, that they wanted to shock people with using this event, and in a way it's a game that glorifies war and the danger of the war, the violence of the war, which sometimes people want to forget, like the Mumbai massacre. And so yes, it's a game, but it's also based on in a reality, and you have to keep this in mind. Okay?
Okay, thank you very much.
That's fine.
Okay.
Thanks very much, Joseph. And there we have it.
The news at 6.
Thank you, Tom. And finally, a number of joggers have been seen this week. Tom? Thank you, Tom. Today's top sports stories. Gordon Brown has been caught running this week along with other major politicians. It seems that W.C. Fields came out with that famous piece of advice for actors, which is never work with children and or animals. In the same vein, there is one piece of guidance that ought to be drummed into politicians the moment they come into office. Never, ever take up jogging. It seems that Gordon Brown, despite being a middle-aged man of 58, still needs a childminder, aka bodyguards. Although arguably Brown needs protection from those angry Tories, it is disputed that his bodyguard is only a few short fistbites away from his deathbed. So with Gordon Brown and many other politicians taken to the streets, it got us wondering, what would happen if next year's election was decided by a running race? And here are the runners lining up for the start. In lane 1 is Gordon Brown representing the Labour Party. We apologise for misspelling his name, but I'm sure no one will take it badly. In lane 2 is David Cameron, well trained from chasing his backbenchers over the expensive forms. And in lane 3 is Nick Griffin for the BNP. Usain Bolt did offer to run for him, but apparently Griffin had some sort of objection. And they're off. What's this? Gordon Brown is running completely the wrong direction. Cutting VAT won't help him here. Griffin appears to be going well, possibly on account of the egg-throwing protesters chasing him. But what's this? Cameron's on his bike! It appears Gordon Brown is wavering here. Oh wow, he's stopped! Here comes David Miliband to save the day. Meanwhile, Cameron has left the field, and it seems that away from the green stuff, he hasn't really got a clue what to do. Griffin is catching him, but has been distracted by a container full of immigrants. The finish line is in sight, and they're neck and neck. It's a photo finish! And let's look at that again from another angle. And another angle. Who won? Well, we'll find out next May. Thank you, Tom. That concludes tonight's programme. Thank you and good night.